Fine? Yes. We can start.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, all. This is Monica from the Triple E department. Today, I'm gonna discuss about project financing. Ma'am, next slide. Let us
Sorry.
understand what is a project.
1 minute. Yes.
Project is nothing but a business venture, or we can say a business plan to start a new business is a project. Ma'am, next slide. What do you mean by financing? Financing is the process of
Yes, you
hello.
can. You can. You can. Someone had spoken. You can. You can. Continue.
Ma'am. What do you mean by financing? Financing is the process of providing funds for the business activities. In short, we can say that borrowing money with a promise to repay that money and some additional fee, or India we call it as interest over a period of time. Basically, project financing is nothing but whenever we start a business, we invest money, which is a finance. So, it is a project financing. Let us now understand what is the exact definition of project financing. Ma'am, next slide. Ma'am, project financing is a long-term financing of infrastructure to or industrial project based upon the projected cash flows of the project rather than the balance sheet of its sponsors. Who are the sponsors? The one who start the business or start or initiate the business or an entrepreneur can be a sponsor. Whenever we say project financing, then we see the particular cash flow of that project only. We won't consider the balance sheet of the sponsors. Ma'am, next slide. Now we look at the nature of the projects. There are five types of nature of the projects. First one is new field project. New field project is a project which is started from the crash. And then we have brownfield project. It is a project which uses the existing infrastructure and modify it or renovate it, and then we start a business. When we compare these two projects, the new field project is requires a lot of hard work because we need to start it from the beginning. Then we have expansion of existing facilities at the same or different location. That means whenever we start a project or we want to expand our company in the same location, or we can have a branches in the another location. Ma'am, next slide. Forward or backward integration. Forward and backward integration, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes.
Forward and backward integration is also a nature of the project. Here I am giving an example to understand it. Whenever a company is manufacturing the cars, then it is said as forward integration. And whenever the company is manufacturing the batteries for the cars which are already manufactured, is called backward integration. And then we have diversification. Diversification is the act of existing entity branching out into a new business opportunity. Let me give an example. Let us consider a Bajaj company who is supplying the products like electronics, and if in order to expand their company or in order to increase their income, they are taking a new project or they are starting a new business which is not at all related to the products which they are already manufactured. That is nothing but a diversification. Ma'am, next one. Let us see importance of products financing decisions. Irreversible in nature. Whenever we start a business and we already invested the money and then we are giving up or selling this project to the another company, then it can cause an impact to our profit. It can cause a huge loss. So whenever we take a decision, we have to stick on it. Then we have impact long-term profitability of the business. The project financing decisions can also impact profitability of the business. As whenever we start the project, which will not only affect the particular year but also affect the upcoming 5 years or 10 years until this project runs. It can also change the profitability. There is the saying that one good project can change the company's future for many years. Then we have impact on competitive position of the business. The project financing decision can also impact competitive position. And then we have impact on risk perception about the company. The project financing decisions can also impact risk perception. uh, Ma'am, next slide.
Some figures are there here.
Yes, ma'am. Parties involved in the project financing mainly depends upon the type and the scale of the project. Sponsor. Sponsor is a person, he's the main person who starts a business or an entrepreneur. Then we have lenders. Example, bankers are the lenders. Off takers are the one who buy the product. For example, if we manufacture so and so textile, if our company is a textile industry and the DMart has already signed a contract, then the DMart employees are called as the product buyers. And then we have contractor or vendor. When we start a company, we need to have a building to construct. Then we hire a contractor or a vendor. The one who supplies the equipment for our company are the equipment suppliers. The one who provides us the insurance are the insurance providers, and the hedge providers are the one who reduces the risk mitigation of our company. They are called as hedge providers. There are few more parties involved in the project financing. They are financial advisors, technical advisors, and legal advisors. Ma'am, that's it.
That's it. Very good. So the topics you had covered, what is a project? So how do we do the financing, the project financing, and then the nature of the project, like types of the projects, and then importance of project financing, and what are the members involved in the project financing. Very good.
Thank
So
you.
yes, very good. So the next person, I expect that he will be explaining the impact of project finance. How do we do the project financing in India? Is there any difference of the financing methodology apart from a developing country and a developed country? So I expect that from the other person. So let me check whether he had sent me or not. Okay. Are you there? The next person? Yeah. Yes. Your voice is breaking. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. 4020. Are you talking? Hello.
Ah,
Yes.
ah,
Check your Wi-Fi signals. Actually, it's breaking. Voice is breaking. Okay. Till that time, please be ready with your seminar, and we'll go back to Shiva Sai. Shiva Sai, are you there? Shiva Sai.
Ma'am, the presentation I sent is the
hello,
presentation of that Sadvik, ma'am. 320. My roll number is 42.
Okay.
I'm facing network problem, so I tend to
Okay,
give
fine.
time.
Sadvik, are you ready then?
Okay, ma'am, I'm
Okay. Okay, fine.
good.
Yes.
Morning, ma'am. Now we are discussing about project financing in India and what is project financing method and what is project financing of stages of project financing. So project finance is one of the areas in today's world because of financial growth and expansion of the industries at the rapid rate. Project finance is a centuries-old form of financing, high-risk, development-oriented. Project finance is the long-term financing of infrastructure and industrial projects based on non-recourse or limited alternatives. Now, as to non-recursive, what is non-recursive finance? Finance is a type of commercial lending that gives a lender to repayment only from the profits of the project. The loan is funding and not profit, not from any other assets of the borrower. That means if we take a, we have to pay it by the profit what we gave when the assets are with any other where project they and we paid back from the cash flow in the it means what we get from the investment, profit investment from the investment.
Sadvik, are you using mobile data or Wi-Fi? Sadvik, are you using mobile data or Wi-Fi? Hello. Okay. Try to tell. Actually, the voice is breaking. Hello. 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 Yes.
Ma'am, facing network issue.
No, you are using Wi-Fi or mobile data.
Mobile data, ma'am.
Mobile data. Go outside and tell. Na, you will get signals rather than
I'm
sitting.
already outside, ma'am.
Okay. Try to move to some location so that you get the signals because voice is breaking. Or shall I read? Shall I read? You will explain. Hello.
I will explain.
Okay. Shall I read for you?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So Sadvik, for the sake of Sadvik, I am reading. So the students, please listen, and he will try to explain as he's having the network issue. He's trying to explain. Please cooperate with him. Okay. So the methods of the project financing. He had written a survey said that 90% of the response identified money as the greatest obstacle to the implementation of a project. The various sources of the finances can be broadly divided into two categories. The first one is equity capital, second one is debit capital. The project manager can choose any one of the combination of two or more than these methods to finance the project. The methods what he had written here is the first one share capital, second one term loan, third one debenture capital, fourth one commercial banks, fifth one bills discounting. So now Sadvik, you can explain.
Methods of projecting finance. As we all know, already if you want to start a business or able to industry or anything else, first we need a capital to start. So we have to get a capital from a bank or any other resource. The money is the greatest obstacle to implementation of any project. Here the various sources of finance can be broadly divided into two examples with equity capital and debt capital. Here equity capital means equity capital that is free of debt, especially capital received for an interest in the ownership of business. Debt capital means refers to borrowed funds that must be repaid at a later date.
Next slide. Yes. So in the next slide, he had written about the stages in the project financing. Okay, you can explain.
It's broadly divided into three types. Pre-financial stage, it includes the following: project identification. It means a project or project selected should be integrated with the strategic plan of the organization. The project plan should be match the goals of the organization. The second one is identifying risk and minimizing the right project at the right time, at the right place, and at the right place. And third one is technical and financial feasibility. an organization before starting any new project or expanding an existing one must look into unlocking
Please mute your mics. The other persons, I request all of you to mute your mics except Sadvik and me. Only we both should talk. Yes, Sadvik, continue.
Another one is financing stage. In this stage, three aspects of arrangement of equity, debt or loan, B is negotiation and syndication of the loan,
Yes.
syndication of the sale,
Hmm.
and C is the payment. And next one is post financing. Ma'am, next page.
Yes, can I repeat the steps once again for you? So what Satvik has written is he had given the stages in the project financing. The first step is the pre-finance stage. Second one is the financing stage. In the pre-financing stage, he had written the first step is to be the identification of the project.
Okay.
Yes, second one is identifying the risk and minimizing the risk. Third one is technical and financial feasibility. That today in the from 12:10 to 1, I will give you a clear picture about what we have to do, the feasible areas in the project. Okay, and the next he had written the Yes, the second step here written by the Sadvik is financing stage. Under that, the first step is arrangement of equity, debit, oblique loan. Second one is negotiation and syndication of the same. Third is documentation and checking all the rules and regulations, policies related to how to start a project. And fourth one is payment. Can I go to the next slide, Sadvik? Sadvik,
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
there? Yes, can continue.
Last one is post financing. In post financing, monitoring and review of projects from time to time. The project manager must keep a check on the proper working of the project. Project closure, it is ending the project, repayment and monitor. Next page.
Next slide.
Yes.
Conclusion.
India required an investment of over 1 trillion for infrastructure development in the 12th five-year plan, which goes from 2012 to 2017. However, the knowledge and skill set essential in this area is absent, and there has been a rebirth of interest in PFI and PPP project finance deals.
What is this PFI and PPP projects?
I don't know that much.
So study on it and tell me by next class what is PFI and PPP.
Okay.
Okay, so what Satvik has said today is how do we do the project financing in India? Why we need the financing? What are the different stages to do to start a project in terms of financing? Isn't it? Financing is nothing but you're maintaining the cash flow in a company, isn't it? So there are different steps. What he had discussed was pre-financing, financing stage, and post-financing. And like each step he had clearly described. And anyhow, I will repeat this topic for you again. I will refer all these ppts and I will make a new ppt and I will give you a lecture in the next week. I think this is the last topic, and he had concluded that about $1 trillion of amount is required for the infrastructure development. The financing amount for as of in the 12th five-year plan, from the 12th five-year plan. So he concluded that India is requiring $1 trillion, and the year is between 2012 to 17. I think the number will change. Update this and tell me what is PFI and PPP projects by next
Okay.
class, Sadvik. Fine. Very good presentation.
Okay.
At least today we had known some definition of financing, what are the different stages, and Monica also explained very well. Who is the next person? Who is the next person? None of you, only two had sent me the mail as of now. So let me check. Yes, please mute your mics. And Akila, T. Srikant, are you there? T. Srikant, are you there? I will not give again another chance for you. Once the class is over, it's over. Right? Then Sadvik had given the seminar. Then Sheikh Zubair, are you there? 4021. 4021. 4021. CR of Triple E, please respond. Is he there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then 4022 D Vivek. Is he there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you ready to give the seminar?
Ma'am, I want to give next week, ma'am.
No, no,
I'm
no.
not right now.
Yesterday itself I had informed. I had said 4022 instead of the person he is. I don't know what's the reason, but I gave you. So try to tell it's not an exam here. We will not judge you. We will just take the points from you. That's it.
I am not prepared right now, ma'am. That's why I'm asking to give me.
Okay. At least you are prepared for any case study. You have any ideas of any startup?
Not yet, ma'am.
No, you don't have any ideas, or you have any case study, any example like Oyo Rooms, Red Bus, any example?
Ma'am, that's what I'm telling, ma'am. Next week I will give.
No, what you did yesterday, like yesterday I had informed you, right? So what is
Ma'am,
the reason? What is the reason behind it?
like I want more time, ma'am, to prepare. I thought today is not my turn. That's why I have
No,
not.
yesterday I said right in the last 5 minutes I said D Vivek. I had even said
Yes,
the
ma'am.
name. Mm.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm telling. I'm not telling that you have not told my name. I'm telling that I want more time so that I can prepare well. I don't want to give half knowledge, ma'am.
So how can I assure that you will be giving? By next Wednesday, you will be the first person to give the seminar. Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am. It's okay.
So I have I'm telling you, I am not so strict, but I give chance to the students so that they will explore. They will explore. And yesterday I said for the few students, no, I asked them to do the survey in their area. No, you just tell me, students, is this survey of doing your area to start a company or to start a new startup, is it useful? Is it useful or not? Is it useful or not?
Ma'am, it is useful, but in our area, like there are no big startups, ma'am. Only just like a tea stall, pawn shop, or chicken center, like that.
No, just no. That's what. Even that, those are also a startup, isn't it?
Ma'am,
Those.
not they are not startups,
So
but
I think no. Student, if you are in.
Like, ma'am.
No, if you are interested, any of your from Triple or Civil, if you are interested, that would be adding you some information, isn't it? In future, if you want to start a business in your area or in some areas which you are interested, if you do survey right from now, you will be knowing which is like clicking, which is giving more profits. But you cannot learn the profits behind it, but you can see if, for example, in a tea stall or just you take a restaurant, you can see like how many people are going in and what is the publicity they are doing, like what are the type of, what is the aesthetic look of that restaurant, how is improvising. If you study on it, it will help you. The person who wants to start a business, this will add on to you. That's why I am asking you. If it's not compulsory, This topic is not compulsory to all the students. Who are interested can do this survey, and because of this pandemic situations, I am not asking you to go to some areas. I'm just asking you to just do the survey in your locality. Okay, if you are interested only, you can do it, or else you can give the topic which I am giving from the curriculum. Okay, fine. Then who is going to give? Only two members had given as of now. What should I do with this? CR? CR, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Sadvik, Monica, this T Srikant, is he there? Call him or just text him. Is he there or not?
Now in the class he is not present, ma'am. I should message him personally.
Or just ask him, is he available or not?
Should I call him now, ma'am?
Yeah, you can. And talk about this Zubair, Sheikh Zubair.
21. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so only few are left for the seminar. As I'm not giving the assignment, written assignment for the internal one, I'm taking this as an assignment marks for your internal one. So tell them that ma'am is asking to give the seminar, and you can, if I'm okay, it's okay. The ultimately I want you to talk in my session. So whoever is not preparing, you can voluntarily ask me, ma'am, I'm like D Vivek asked me, ma'am, I'm not prepared well. He's okay with the next week. So anyone in this list, if they are okay, they have to give before internal. Before internal, I would like to wind up this, right?
Okay.
Tell them. Okay, so as time is left more 11, it is 11:53 now. I'll just show you a video that it's a difference between I was talking about the Mukesh Ambani versus Anil Ambani. Just we'll see a video. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, can you see this audio? Is the clear? Video is clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Both
Yes,
are
ma'am.
clear.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yes. How is the video? Hello.
Good, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what you understood by this video? What you understood by this video? Yes, what did you understood by this video? Shall I again replay it? Or what you understood by this video?
With a proper way of thinking, we can excel many things.
Proper way of thinking, and if you're focused
Focused
on,
on one particular thing.
yes, on one particular thing, if you want to diversify your company in small units. Yesterday I had given one of the example that the gold or what I wanted to dig, if I am okay with the pieces what I am getting out when I'm digging, I will be only adjusting to that pieces. But if I have a goal that I should get the whole gold ore, I have to struggle hard, dig it till the core depth and get my wealth back, isn't it? So that's what Mukesh Ambani has done. He had focused and he has a predetermined objectives. As yesterday I had said, there should be, every company or every institute should be an object what he wanted to target it, isn't it? So this Mukesh Ambani sir, what he had done, he had focused on a single unit and he had excelled where he is having the knowledge. But Anil Ambani, he had taken the small units and he wanted to get profits out of this from the small units. So now the net worth of the Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani are both different. Both are the graph, if you see the graph of the net worth, the Mukesh Ambani is increasing, whereas Anil Ambani, it is less than the initial amount, isn't it? So that's why the proper focusing, setting up a proper target or the vision in your mind and excelling in which you are perfect. Do not harvest your company like I changing or improvising it in some other terms will may lead you a failure. But improvising your company in a right path will give you a good result, right? So that's the video, and I would like to share you one of the video, as the class is still 12:10, isn't it? Still 10 more minutes is there. So I will share you a video. It's there will be a number of ducks. Okay, there will be a number of ducks. It will be that ducks are from Thailand. Okay, so what this Thailand people are doing, they are sending these ducks in the rice cultivation crop. So these ducks will be eating and it will act as a natural pesticides to that crop. Okay, so what they are doing, they are using the ducks as a pesticides for the rice crop. So they are using waste out of best, isn't it? So they are utilizing the ducks instead of using some the chemicals or investing some extra amount. Instead of that, the ducks will be getting the food, and on the other side it is acting as a pesticide for the rice cultivation crop. So this is one of the technique in the Thailand, and please see that, and these are some of the ideas which will generate you. So from your available resources itself, you can try the good startup. Okay, and you know, there is a nowadays in India, the pig farming, it's giving a huge amount of profits from pig farming. This pig farming, and this ostrich birds, all these are some of the very good new startups whereby you are getting more profits. Okay, let me share the screen. I'll show you the video now. You will have an idea. Yes, is the video okay? Can I play?
Yes, ma'am.
ก็มีพวกกินพวกหอยเชอรี่ตัวเล็กๆอะไรเงี้ยแล้วก็ได้มาเก็บข้าวเรียกว่าข้าวดีดข้าวอะไรที่มันร่วงไปเนี่ยแล้วก็ได้มาเก็บข้าวเรียกว่าข้าวดีดข้าวอะไรที่มันร่วงไปในนาแล้วก็ช่วยย่ำซังให้มันเรียบมันจะทำเชือกได้ไวขึ้น
ประโยชน์คือถ้าของผมโดยตรงคือเราลดต้นทุนอาหารไม่ต้องเลี้ยงจนไม่ต้องขุนอาหารจนโตอย่างนี้มันลดต้นทุนอยู่แล้วครับถ้าสำหรับชาวนาคือช่วยให้ชาวนาช่วยกำจัดศัตรูพืชศัตรูข้าวให้ชาวนาแล้วก็ช่วยลดสารเคมีให้น้อยลง
Yes, so what did you understood by this video? How they are utilizing the ducks in the rice farming crops. Yes. Hello. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you? So only one girl, one boy is talking. What about others? 4042.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is for 320,
Yeah.
319, 316, 314, 311, 315, 304, 52, 329, 14. All these, like, they are not talking in my class. So what did you understood by the video? How they are utilizing the ducks in what way they are using the ducks in the rice cultivation crop?
To eat the pests.
They
The
don't
ducks
eat.
will eat the pests.
No,
Ducks.
they don't eat. Yeah, they eat that insects and the waste which is coming out from the ducks are acting as a fertilizer for the plant.
Urea, like urea.
Yes, that the waste which is coming out from the duck is acted as a fertilizer, and the ducks will they will plow it as they will be digging it and they will be eating it, right? The insects or the fish or whatever the particles, right? So thereby they'll be plowing the crop, and the waste which is coming out from the duck is acting as a natural fertilizer. So thereby they are reducing the ploughing, and using of chemicals are also avoided, right? So I think you can utilize this duck cultivation in India. I think this is not done in our country. So this is one of the way whereby you no need to maintain the ducks, because no need to give them the food as they will be eating it in this crop itself. No need to maintain them, just giving the shelter to them and providing, that's it. It's okay, it's enough. So you will be getting money from the farmers and no need to supply the food to them. So maintenance is easy, isn't it? So
Yes, ma'am.
this is the one of the video.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Still, you have 3 more minutes. Any doubts in this session? If you have any doubts in this session, you can discuss here. Any doubts, or am I fast, or am I slow? You can give me the feedback. Yes. If you want any other topics or any topics did I miss, you just tell me frankly. I will repeat it. So one of the student asked me, Madam, tell me what are the means to get the capital for franchising. I didn't tell as of now. I will prepare on it and I will present a PPT on it. Franchising, the capital investment for franchising. Right? Still any topics? If I'm missing, I had missed one of the topic. What's the difference between an intrapreneur and entrepreneur? So yesterday I had covered that intrapreneur versus entrepreneur. Still any topics? If I'm missing, you can please, frankly, you can speak here. This is a platform to share. And some of, what about the CR? What about those two people?
Ma'am, I think you have missed the break-even analysis.
Yes, break-even
So
analysis.
you will take the separate section.
Yes, break-even analysis is there in this unit itself. So that I took the time. In unit 3, you have the topic, separate topic on break-even analysis. So on that I will cover.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, still anything? What about those two people, Vivek and Zubair? I think so. They are lifting the phone. Are they lifting the phone? No. Yes. No, not D Vivek. I'm sorry. The person. I'm sorry. The person. I don't remember the name. Let me see. Who is he? Srikanth. T. Srikanth. T. Srikanth. So the time is 12:10. What about the civil? Did they join? Civil, did they join? Ma'am is ready. Saujanya ma'am, I'll wait. Yes, civil people. Ma'am, Saujanya ma'am. Ma'am, actually today I didn't get my phone.
No, you have already shared the group, ma'am.
Yeah, but I didn't give the reminder message to them. I didn't get the phone today.
That's all right, ma'am. They'll get the reminder. I'll do it once again. No worries. But
yeah, ma'am.
they'll join. No worries.
Yes. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes as civil department students didn't join yet. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and let me share my screen so that we'll be ready. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll wait for 2 more minutes and we'll start the session.
Ma'am, in this process of using ducks in cultivating,
Yes.
there should be a mutual understanding between both
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
yes,
you
a
need a
farmer
mutual
and a breeder.
yes, you need a mutual understanding between a farmer and a breeder. Your making his work down, isn't it? Instead of buying those chemicals,
Yes,
pesticides, and
ma'am.
that ploughing and all, you can talk with him, and you can. I think ducks, maintaining ducks is very easy. So this is one of the what I had seen yesterday. It was very good because you are getting profits on both ends. Both ends you are getting profits. Even the farmer is getting and the breeder is also getting.
Yes, ma'am.
And these are just normal ducks. Normal ducks in the normal span, the ducks in your lakes, only those ducks they are using. Fine?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
several people are joining, ma'am. They are there.
Yes.
Yeah, they join.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Time is big, and you need not wait for them.
Okay. Because they'll be missing. That's why I'm waiting for 2 more minutes.
It's already completed. They must be joining. They are doing. I also kept a reminder. You can.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay, so yesterday we had seen the Unit 3 project formulation. I had given the contents of Unit 3. The first one is project formulation, analysis of market demand, financial profitability, and technical analysis. And the last topic is project financing in India. So, some of the students from Triple E had given the seminar on this, and by coming toward 2 days or one day, I'll give the chance for civil department also, so they can give the seminar on how to do the project financing in India. So then we had seen why we need a project formulation in a company. What is the need of project formulation? So the first we'll see what is a project formulation. Nothing but at a minimum expenses you will try to achieve the more outcomes. More outcomes by minimum expenses is called as in a project formulation. So as in our country, we have a problem of the availability of the resources, or either it could be highly sophisticated machines or automated machines, or either it could be of there could be a changes in the plant layout. So all these factors of production, there cannot be a perfect selection of a factors of production in a developing country. So because of these constraints, you are trying to do a project perfectly. To get a perfect project or the perfect outcome, you need a methodology. This methodology is called as a project formulation. So whereby you will be just seeing all the feasibilities, whether it could be a material, man, or the technical aspects, or the social aspects, or economical aspects. All these aspects you will be studying individually, and you will be discussing with a decision makers or the specialist. So the feasibility is the prior feasibility is the technical, financial, and how well your project is been influencing the environment around you. So that all you will be seeing all the nook and corners, and you will be dividing your project into all small pieces, and that pieces you will be studying it in the project formulation. So that we had discussed in the last class. And one definition I said that in external exam, if they'll ask you what is a project formulation, you should write that aim of a project formulation is to achieve the project objectives with a minimum expenditure and adequate resources. Ultimately, a business or any business person, he will be trying to get the more profits at less expenditure, isn't it? So in order to get a minimum expenditure and at an adequate resources and in a short span of time, that is called as a project formulation. So coming to the where we need to do, where we need to incorporate the project formulation in a company. So this is given in here in a diagram. So first in the unit 2 we had discussed how to generate an ideas, what are the sources of ideas. Then we had seen what are the sources of the product you can choose, what are the different types of products. Then we are analyzing all the aspects. After this stage you will be going into formulating your project. After okay, everything is okay, if it is getting a tick mark, then you will go for the design of a project. So these are the stages of the project formulation in a company. Okay, so then in the next slide, in the left hand side, I had given what are the factors that we need to analyze when you are doing a project formulation, or when you are documenting a project, or when project is nothing but see any, like coming to students point of view, how do you generate, how do you document a project report. Like first you will give the introduction, second you will give the literature survey, third what you will give your the machine specifications of your project, and then you will give the material specification, and then you will do the experimentation. Once experimentation is done, then the next chapter you will discuss about the results and discussion of your experimentation, and then you will conclude every chapter you will be analyzing. And in the last of the chapter, as of my view, what I do is, and for the every chapter I will give a summary, isn't it? The summary I will give. So by this chapter I'm studying, I got the knowledge about so and so machine, or so and so experimentation, or so and so literature survey, whereby I will be carry forwarding this to the next chapter. So that's the way I will be writing my project report, and I will be giving to my guide. So what this guide or the person who will be guiding you, he will study it thoroughly. He will discuss with you what are all the changes you can done, either in terms of experiment point of view, or either it could be he will give the changes, either it could be in document point of view. He'll be telling you, no, you have to give the font size like this, or the distance between on in each paragraph, or how you have to give the justification. So a project formulation will in entrepreneurship, in a company point of view, what these people will do is they will try to exploit on all the matters which are surrounding them, like technical, economical, managerial, financial, commercial, organizational, legal, all these aspects they will try to cover, and they will try to document it. So why they need a project report is that is an official documentation, isn't it? See, when you are starting a startup, either if like your life partner, you are making your life partner as a partner in your company, but either it could be a life partner or a friend, you need a legal documentation, you need a legal partnership agreement. If without a partnership agreement, either if you're taking a life partner, or either it could be a friend or your mother, or any parents, you need a legal documentation. So this legal documentation will give you in future, if there is some changes, or if there could be some disturbances, you can present this project report in front of them, and it will not lead to you any loss in terms of investment, or whatever the investment you are putting it from your end, the whatever the loss or some disturbances will occur in a business, isn't it? Any business, you will be seeing the up and downs. So at that time, this project formulation and project report will help you legally. So that's why you need to analyze all these factors. Okay, on the right hand side, I had given the points which are needed for what are the points that are making what that are increasing the size of a project. When I'm doing a project, what are the properties, what are the terms which are being adding to increase the size of the project? So the first one is area of operation, types and levels of activities, type and size of the organization, the amount of investment, the time required. So these all we had discussed yesterday. So the factors on the other end and the project size on the other end. So and then we had seen what are the objectives in a firm. When I'm developing a firm, I need to have some objectives framed in my brain. One will be generalized, what are the achievements I am getting when I'm running my company, that is generalized objectives. The second one is operational objectives, what is like when I'm implementing a project, what are the results I am getting, whether it could be a failure result or whether it could be a success result. The results which are being generated when you implement the project, you do that, you call it as an operational objectives. So that we had discussed in the last session. So this was the last slide. I had asked all the students to please write this in a paper. So this is very, very, very important in terms of external exam point of view. You will get a question. This is a gunshot question in an essay type. They will ask you what is a project formulation and explain the stages of project formulation. So let me read out the 7 stages, and today we will cover the 7 stages in detail, and I will try to explain it very well. And please, all of you, please listen the 7 stages clearly, as you will get this question in essay. Okay, so coming to the stages of project formulation, the first one is feasibility analysis, second one is techno-economic analysis, third one is project design and network analysis, fourth one input analysis, fifth one financial analysis, sixth one socio cost benefit analysis, socio cost benefit analysis, seventh one is pre-investment analysis. I repeat the 7 stages again: feasibility analysis, techno-economic analysis, project design and network analysis, input analysis, financial analysis, social cost benefit analysis, pre-investment analysis. Okay, now I will be explaining all the stages in detail. Let me explain the first one, feasibility analysis. Okay, so the term, the name itself, it is saying you will be doing what are the analysis of the feasibility, what are the feasible areas you have in the project. That is called as a feasibility analysis. So this is the first stage where you will be examining the idea. So initially, after generating the ideas in your brain, like yesterday, like last unit 2, we had seen, like after generating some 100 ideas, you will be screening the ideas and you will be filtering the only 1 or 2 ideas which is feasible, right? So that idea you will be again thoroughly studying on it in detail, and you will be seeing it whether you can go for whether you can carry forward the idea to the investment, whether you can do the investment on it or not. That you will check it whether it is feasible in terms of investment or in terms of the material. Let's say I would like to manufacture the mobile phone. I have to see the feasible areas, whether the mobile phone, the material for the mobile phone is available or not, whether it is having the aesthetic look or not, whether the machinery is available to manufacture it or not. All this feasibility you have to see. Okay, when I'm launching this phone, what could be the result, whether the people will be buying it or not, what is the competition of that. All these areas you will be checking it, whether if it is okay, you will be going it to the investment stage. So that's why I had written here in three rectangular boxes. The first one is I will be checking, is the project idea feasible or not. Again, the second one is the project idea not feasible. Then what I will do, I will do some improvements, and again I will improvise it. Then after, okay, if it is okay, let me use a pointer. Yes, if it is okay, I will again go to the conclusion of it, and I will try to get more data on it, and I will go for the next further stage, right? If it is not okay, I will again improvise it, and again I will check whether it is feasible or not, and then again I will study on it. This is a feasibility analysis, and it's a first step in the project formulation. Okay, is it okay, students? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to the second step in the project formulation, that is a techno-economic analysis. Techno-economic analysis is where once the idea is okay, you will now try to estimate what is the demand of the project, what is the demand in terms of a market. When I want to launch my mobile phone, I have to first analyze what is the demand of my mobile phone. If I'm launching something, the old generation mobile phone, none of the people will try to buy it. So it should be based on the technology, or based on the changes that is there in the market. That also you have to see, and you have to add some extra feature to my mobile phone. It should have a sleek, the nowadays you are getting 4 or 5 cameras back, the front end, back end, and there are changes in the pixels. Okay, so all these are features are being adding now. The more sleek, the more aesthetic look, the phone is having sleek. If it is thin, they are buying. If it is fat, or if it is having more thickness, no, even I will not buy it, isn't it? So based on the demand, the project demand also, and based on what you're choosing the technology. In the last class, we had seen what is the choice of technology. So how well you're screening the technology based on the product you're manufacturing. So based on the project demand, and based on the optimization of your technology is also very, very important. So thereby you will get an how the flow of the goods and services is being changed, that you will be studying, and you will be doing the market analysis in terms of demand, or in terms of technology, in techno economic analysis. So here the name itself, it is saying you're estimating the technology come the economic analysis, whatever the terms that are there in the economic analysis, that you will be studying it here, right? Once it is okay in terms of demand, or in terms of the technology what you are using, then you will go for the next analysis, or the step 3. Step 3 is project design and network analysis. So what is this is, let's say I'm doing a project. We'll talk in terms of a student point of view. You will be doing the final year project, isn't it? So what you will be doing in the final year project, you will be dividing it into different activities, into different parts, and you will be assigning it to your group members, isn't it? It's a group project. The major project is a group project. So you will be dividing the project into the different activities, and you will allot the time to it. Let's say the project is been divided into 5 different entities. So 5 different entities, you will allot the time for each entity, and you will see the sequence of the activity. If the second, if let's say one group is having the 3 students, the second person had done the activity which has to be done after the first person, then it is wrong, right? So you have to see the sequence of the activities that are divided and the time required for the each activity. That you call it as project design and networking. Let me read the definition written on the screen. It defines individual activities and their interrelationship between each other. So you will be dividing the project into the individual activities, and you will create a relationship, and you will give the time for the each activity, and you will be giving the sequence of the entities what you are choosing, right? So that type of work plan, you call it as networking. And we will see this network diagram, how to do this network diagram, how to divide these activities in terms of mathematically in unit 3. In unit, I'm sorry, not in unit 3, in unit 4 we will draw the network diagram, the PERT analysis, how we will do mathematically. In unit 3 we will just see the methodology, but in unit 4 we will do the mathematical calculation, the PERT network diagram calculations in detail. Okay, so whereby you will be dividing the project into different entities, and you will be studying thoroughly, and the time related and the sequencing or the relationship between each entity you will be studying in this stage. Okay, coming to the fourth stage is in called as an input analysis. So what you will be doing, it is a continuation of the previous network analysis. In previous you were dividing it. Now what you will do, you will for each entity you will write what are the inputs that is required. So now we'll talk in terms of student point of view. Now for the group of the students, you had divided it into 4 different entities. You are given to 4 students. So now each student, what he will do, he will try to write what are the resources that are needed for that single entity. Okay, so let's say one student had taken the module of design, one student had taken the module of analysis. Okay, one student had taken the module of doing the documentation work. Okay, the design module person, he has to jot down the points like which softwares are available. There are STAD Pro for the civil department, for EEE department there could be some other design software. Okay, so now he had to jot down like which software is available in the market, or which software is freely available for the student point of view. And okay, now the design is logged. Now what are the specifications? Now what could be in the, let's say he's wanted to design a beam or a bridge. Okay, so now what is the material he want, what are the bricks, or what are the cement, or what are the resources he want, he had to jot down. That you call it as input analysis. After you are dividing it into different activities, you will be, for each activity you will be collecting the inputs, and you will be summing all the total inputs. That is input analysis. So here in the bottom I had written in the rectangular box, one is material, the second one is human resources, the third one is recurring resources, the fourth one is non-recurring resources. Now the students, let's now tell me what is recurring resources. Just type it in Google and tell me the meaning of recurring resources. I think you got this recurring and non-recurring in your seed and data structures. This word was familiar to you in C and data structures in your first year, I think so. As of my knowledge,
Yes.
what is recurring? What is the meaning of recurring? What is the meaning of recurring?
Repeating.
Repeating. Repeating. Just
To happen
answer
again and
it.
again. Many times.
Mm. So what are the examples of the recurring resources? What are the examples of the recurring resources? Type it in Google and you can answer me.
Franchise.
Sun,
Yes?
Franchise.
sun,
What franchise? I didn't get you. What is the example of recurring resources? Hello? Hello? Are you there? Students, it takes just a 1 or 2, 3 seconds to type it in the Google. Shall I type it in front of you? Yes? Students, if you do not talk in my session, it will be like blindly I'm talking to my system. It is really waste of sitting in front of the system. If you talk here, you will really enjoy this subject. This subject is really a generalized subject. I'm not telling too much of formulas and formulae. I'm not giving too much of knowledge, of bookish knowledge here. I'm just talking it generally. Just type it. What are the examples of recurring resources and tell me. Yes. No one is interested to talk.
ma'am, renting a house, ma'am. Simple
Renting
example.
is an example of
Property or an house.
property and
Or
a house is the
recurring income sources.
okay. What is an example of non-recurring?
Car, house.
You are telling house in both the cases.
I mean house which we
House which we own is the non-recurring.
own in the sense which we are presently living. We are
Okay.
staying in. Recurring is which we are giving for
Ma'am,
rent.
real estate investment and property comes under recurring example, ma'am.
Under non-recurring? Under non-recurring? Under non-recurring, what is the examples? There are about 1 or 2 attendees here. And I had seen some students, I'm telling you, you're leaving the session in between and joining at the last. I'm not going to give the attendance for those students. Those who are sincerely listening to my session right from 12:10 to 1 for civil department, for those only I'll give the attendance. So please answer me when I'm asking here, respect me. What are the examples of non-recurring resources? I think you had
These
familiar
are one-time investments, ma'am.
one-time investment. So what?
Like starting a company, we buy a machine. It is a
Yes.
non-recurring.
Yes, very good. Buying a machinery is an example of a non-recurring. Still any examples? Still an example? Fine.
Fines and penalties, ma'am.
Penalties with comes.
Fines and penalties.
Okay.
Non-recurring item.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Right.
Cost required for the marketing.
Cost required for the marketing. It comes in which resources?
Non-recurring.
Okay. Fine. So now we will see the yes.
me, ma'am, all the liabilities come under the non-recurring, right?
Yes.
Is it correct, ma'am?
All the
Liabilities.
will come under non-recurring. Yes, it's correct.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So coming to the next analysis, please mute your mics. I'm getting a resound here. Right. Coming to the next stage after input analysis, now you will do analysis on financially. Right. This is a topics like some of the students from Triple E, they had given a very good seminar on why we need a financing in India. What are the different stages in financing in India? That we will repeat it. So what are the analysis in terms of financially? Like we will try to estimate the cost of the project, what are the operating costs, and what are the fund requirements, and what are the cash flow systems. Okay, so there are some of the analytical tools available to study to calculate this cost. So the examples of these are cash flow, cost, volume, profit relationship, and a ratio analysis. These two are the analytical tools. So we will see this mathematically in the unit 4. In unit 4 we will draw the diagrams and each activities will divide it and we will calculate mathematically in unit 4. Okay, so this financial point of view, you will be estimating the project cost, operating cost, the cost incurred when you what is a maintenance cost, and what is a fixed cost. Okay, what is a variable cost? All these you will calculate it and you will study it thoroughly, as finance is the without a finance you cannot run a company. Though you have an idea, though you have a machine or a material, though you have the human resources, without a finance in your hand you cannot run, right? As this is which will be traveling right from the initial stage of ideas till the commercialization. Finance is important, right? So that's why you will be trying to calculate all the costs which are incurred in the project, right? This is financial analysis. Coming to the cost benefit analysis, here what you will be doing, you will be considering the project in terms of a national point of view, in the sense you will not only consider the direct cost, but also you will calculate the cost, the indirect cost also, like maintenance cost or the repairing cost. All those costs you will be calculating to the each entities. So now we will discuss in terms of student point of view. So now the student had, now he is in a stage where he had he had gained the knowledge of the inputs, what he want, the inputs he had gathered. Now what he had to do, he has to calculate the cost of the all the inputs, or to run a project, what is the cost. Okay, to buy the project or to buy some technology, some design software, or to get some knowledge, he might be buying some textbooks, right? So in order to run that software, he will be buying either he will be using a trial version, or he'll be buying that the software. So all those the cost incurred in the separate entities and costs which are indirectly related to that entities, he will be calculating it and he will be fixing a number to it, right? So not only the direct cost, here you will be considering the cost of all the entities which are connected to your project, and you will fix a number to it. This is called as a cost benefit analysis. Okay, then this is a last stage where now you are financially studying it. You will be studying the separate, you will be studying it on the cost benefit analysis, you will be studying it on the inputs, and whether it is feasible. All these now you will consolidate. Now the student is in a stage where he's okay with the input, he's okay with the software, he's okay with the cost that is incurred. Now he will be trying to calculate the cost of the software, or the cost of the binding of the book, or the cost of the material machine what he's using. Let's say he's doing a project in some company, so he has to pay that money to that company as he is utilizing the machinery. Generally they will cost you for per hour or per duration. They will ask you to pay, so that all cost he will calculate it and he will do the project. Once everything is done, he will document it and he will consolidate, and he will try to present that consolidated results in terms of project, and he will give to the guide. So the same thing in entrepreneur, well, like all the results are consolidated and presented to the project sponsoring agencies, or either it could be an external consultancy, or there could be some investors. So one of the student today, he had said that we will for in financing, and in India it takes about $1 trillion dollars to invest in present 5-year plan, right? So that's way when you consolidate, and you will be giving that project report to the consultancies or the sponsors, and now you will be deciding whether whether your the proposal what you are generating, is it okay or not. You will be discussing with them, and this is the final state, that is pre-investment analysis. Before going into the investment, before incorporating, before putting money in terms of investment, you will be doing this final stage, and you will be locking the project, locking in all aspects, technical, economical, social, and all analysis. You will be doing it, and you will be winding it, and you will be going into the next stage. So these are the 7 steps in the project formulation. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear, all the 7 steps? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had correlated this with your student project. So I think now you will be clear enough how you will be dividing it in design, analysis, or documentation, or material gathering. Like, see what I am sharing my experience. I had done my project in DRDL. So what was like, my guide said, you go to the scrap room, see the material which is available, which is the material scrap. Okay, you have to see which is the material are mostly available, study on it. So what I did, I had seen all those sections, I had taken some 2-3 materials, I took that and I had shown the material to my guide. So okay, now he said, okay, now whatever the material you had chosen, now you do the best out of the scrap, utilize that material, do something new in that, and do the best, right? So after getting the material, then I want to choose my machine. So now I have to do something new. Now I need some machinery or some equipment to do some changes to that. Then I had selected the machine. Now machine material is okay. Now I don't have, as I'm doing it in a government institute, I will be not thinking about the cost of the material or machine. So that was now my the project cost was low compared to the students who will be doing on their own, who will be buying the material or the machine on their own. They will be having the more investment. But now, as of my point of view, there was less, because material machine is given by me. Now I have to study, I have to do the research, I have to see the papers from international conferences and national conferences. I had studied in that material what they were doing. Now what new I have to do. Okay, now I am clear enough with the third entity called experimentation. Now I had done, I had given the results and discussion, the new thing I had given. Now I had discussed with my guide, so he had given me some documentation, available documentation. I had studied on it, and I had done some literature survey, and now I'm in a stage to present the project report to the college, right? So that's where you have to try to try to divide the entities and try to study on each and everything in terms of cost also. You have to think it, right? So you can correlate this project formulation in your final year project and it will help you. So coming to the next topic, the last topic of today's session. Yes, this is a project. So the topic is about what is a project report. The same thing what I had repeated. Project report is a concise copy of detailed analysis done in a project. An entrepreneur or an expert prepares the report before investment in the project is done. I said, right, the legal report or the something, the documentation, why do we do is before going into investment or before going into the real project, you need some documentation. Either the documentation, you will do the analysis in terms of demand, in terms of the cost incurred, in terms of the material incurred. All these you will be you will be documenting. And what this project report will help you is, it will help you to convince the investors. So this, when you present it in a very good manner, it will obviously convince the investors, and they will be willing to invest on your project. Without any documentation, if you just simply tell it in just on a words, none of the persons will believe on you. If you have something legally, some report in your hand, or some presentation of the all the back work or the groundwork what you are doing, then only the investors will come forward to invest on you. So that's the why we need a project report is explained in this slide. Okay, coming to what should be the contents. What are the contents that should be there in your project report? Okay, what are the contents that should be there in the project report? I think you can correlate this with your final year project also. So the first and foremost thing, the first content of the project report should be the objectives and the scope of the report, right? Whatever what you wanted to reach, what you wanted to achieve. In terms of student point of view, I will be writing in like an abstract as a paragraph or just a 10 sentences, what I wanted to achieve, what I'm using it, that objectives or the targets what I wanted to achieve, that you will be writing it in the front paper of the project report. The second one is the product characteristics, like product design specifications, what are the quality standards, or what are the applications of your project, that you will be writing under product product characteristics. Okay. Then the third one is the market position and the trends. What are the recent trends of the project? What is the market position? What is the demand? What are the export prospects? What is the trend in terms of import and export? Whether the project what you are doing is a patented project, or it's on your own. All these you will be writing it in the third chapter. Okay. Then fourth one, you will be writing about the raw materials what you are using. Okay, what are the types of the materials, what is the quality, what are the sources you are getting, from where you are procuring. Like we had seen it in the unit 2 and 1, I had shown some of the approaches where the government itself is launching the materials based on your layout. If you will show your plant layout, they will be helping you, they will be suggesting you what are the materials that are required, and from where you can export it or import it. That all you can get it from, even from the government also. Okay. Then the fifth chapter what you will write in the project report is about the manufacturing methodologies. What is the methodologies you are using in the shop floor? And I am telling continuously, like an entrepreneur must have a knowledge about, he might not be a qualified person, but he should have a knowledge about the shop floor requirements. What is the type of the procedure they are using in the manufacturing, that he must be able to guide to his subordinates, right? So that all will be included in the chapter 5. Okay. Coming to the chapter 6. Chapter 6 is about the plant location, infrastructure, facilities, machinery, like infrastructure, TS, Telangana State Infrastructure Institute. So they are giving you the facilities of current, water facilities, or the machinery facilities, all those. So that you will see that you will be writing it in the chapter 6. Okay. Chapter 7, the land, building, the location of the land, or the procuring the land, building, the structure of the building, choice of the location. All this you will be writing. I'm sorry, I had said that in step 6 you will be concentrating about the plant layout and the machinery, but in step 7 you will be exclusively concentrating about the location of the plant, the building, the infrastructure, the land, or the location of your company in the given estate, right, in the given industrial estate where you are choosing. Okay, that you will be seeing it in the chapter 7. In the chapter 8 you will be concentrating on the financial implications, like the capital structure, the fixed investment, the working capital investment, what is the maintenance investment, what is the profitability. All these you will be concentrating in the chapter 8. And now in the chapter 9 you will be seeing in terms of marketing point of view, what is the demand of the product, how well you are advertising, what is the commercially, how well you are advertising your company. That all you will be seeing it in the chapter 9. And chapter 10, here you will be seeing what is the recruitment, what are the human resources you can utilize. There are different types of, like, skilled and unskilled, what are the salaries they are paying, what are the wages you are paying, how well you are recruiting the experienced person, the subordinates, all those you will be seeing it in the chapter 10. So all these are the contents in the project report. So right from the scope or objectives, or the targets, the product characteristics, the market position, all these you will be writing in detail in a project report. So now the last slide is, okay, now I am done with the project report. To whom I have to submit? When in the terms of student point of view, I will be submitting my project report to my guide and to the HOD, head of the department, and I will be presenting it in front of the external, right? But in terms of entrepreneur, in terms of when you're setting up a company, so this project report you will be submitting it to the in front of investors or the consultancies or to some financial institutes. Like we had seen it in the unit 1, there is a IDBI bank, there is an ICICI bank, there is a State Bank of India, even it is investing into the small scale units, and there is an institute called NSIC, National Small Scale Industry of Corporation. So that is helping you financially. So to that institutes you will be submitting this project report, and they will be seeing it thoroughly, and they will be granting you the land or the financial concessions or some subsidies. And there is an institute called Small Industries Service Institute and Small Industries Development Organization. These institutes will help you how to prepare the project report. So what are the contents that must be there, what must be not be there, that these institute will guide you, and you will be presenting it to the investors. And the government institutes are also there, like NSIC. They will help you to help you in terms of financially, right? So this is the last topic of today's session. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, Monday, we'll be continuing the unit 3, the topic which is like analysis of market demand, profitability analysis, technical analysis. All these we will be continuing. And I'll also show you some of the students today, they had given the seminar, and if time permits, even civil people also will get a chance to give a seminar on project financing in India. Project financing in India is a topic. So as of now, today is about unit 3. Let me take the attendance.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm Pavni, ma'am, 3 here.
Okay, Pavani.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. You told me to contact roll number 16 and 21, no, ma'am?
Yes, you are the CR.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So
Okay.
I have contacted roll number 16, ma'am. He told me that next week he will give a seminar, ma'am.
Okay, fine. And
And
what
21,
about
I'm not able to contact him, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
okay tomorrow or like next week also try to contact him, or you give the number to me. I will try to contact him. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm telling you, I will be giving this as an assignment marks for your first internal, and I will not give any separate assignments. You have to come forward to give the seminar. It
Okay.
could be in the next week or the next week within this internal. Whenever they will commence the commencement of the internal, you can give the seminar, and please try to talk in my session. Please try to talk in my session. Yesterday I had taken the attendance from this list, and suddenly I will not inform you that today I will be taking. Suddenly I will be taking, so please be aware of it. Do not leave the session in between, and try. And some people are trying to attend at the last, right? So try to listen to my session, as this is a generalized subject. It will help you a lot if you want to start up a business. And even I am also sharing my experience, my work experience also I am sharing. So do not leave the session. Try to sit in front of the system and listen to me. And in the evening, I will be posting it in the YouTube. Listen to it. If you are missing in between, you can listen it in the YouTube also. So time is
Okay, ma'am.
one. I'm ending the session. I'll be catching you at Monday, or if I get any extra hour, I'll be taking a seminar for civil department. Right? Thanks a lot. Just before ending, let me stop recording.